How's everybody doing today? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So yeah, man, please smash the hell out of that like button, you guys, and subscribe, man. Wow, man, it's been a while, man. I've had a lot going on in life, man. I just want to say welcome back. Um, Thank you for coming back, actually. And we here, man. We here, man. I'm gonna make more of an effort to make these videos and give you guys that fire you guys been wanting, man, for sure. But yeah, man, Deontay Wilder, man, it's looking like he's gonna be on the path to getting a fourth Tyson Fury fight, a first and almost a pretty much a fourth title shot. Um, he had a trilogy with Tyson Fury already. It's looking like this is gonna be going down again, you guys. If he can beat, Robert Helenius, which just beat Adam Kornacki twice. If Deontay Wilder can beat this guy, which is a tall, rangy fighter, I think Deontay Wilder can do well. But like I said, Tyson Fury has his own issues with music right now, so we got to see how that pans out. But we all know that Deontay Wilder's 42-2 with one draw, 41 of those wins by way of knockout. He's fighting Robert Helenius for the WBC title eliminator on October 15th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. This is one of two title eliminators the WBC has set for Fury's title. It says should Fury choose not to let the WBC know his intentions by this Friday, which is August 26th, which just passed, about his retirement. They're saying they're gonna give him another week because of Tyson Fury's cousin passing or something like that. My condolences. Like I said, I don't believe I know who that is, but yeah, man, they're gonna give him another week because he's got family issues and stuff like that, which is understandable. It says his belt will be stripped from him and will be made available likely for Wilder in the Helenius fight if Tyson Fury doesn't let these guys know his intentions and what he plans on doing. The other WBC title eliminator is a much less interesting fight between Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz. Okay, yes, you guys, that is for the same, I guess, type of title eliminator as the WBC is issuing out for Deontay Wilder in his fight. But yeah, man, it's another 40-plus-year-old fighter with Luis Ortiz being 43. And these guys are getting a little these guys are getting a little up there, man. These guys are getting a little up there, man. Last year, Ruiz came off of a 2-year layoff. They're saying he came off of a 2-year layoff, and he fought a 40-year-old Chris Arreola, and he was almost knocked out by him. So that's that was Andy Ruiz's last performance. He did win, but Chris Arreola, I remember, did hurt Andy Ruiz. And it says we have accepted some elimination bouts that were requested to the WBC. The WBC president, Jose Suleiman, said to Sky Sports, one is Wilder versus Helenius. The other is Ruiz versus Ortiz. He says they are happening as eliminators, but Fury is the champion. He's got the time, and he will decide. And he'll see what's happening. He says, and he'll see what happens. Right now, I'm telling you guys, right now, it's looking like if I had to put my money on it, I think that Deontay Wilder would definitely get a shot at the title again. Will he be champion again? Is what I'm asking you guys. My personal opinion is I think Deontay Wilder can be a champion again. I think he definitely yearns to be champion again. He has everything in the toolbox to be champion again. It's just that, can he get it done? And which guys, which body is aging faster between, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? We do know Deontay Wilder takes care of his body all year round. And we all know that Tyson Fury has setbacks, whether it be drinking hiatuses or, mental health, which is definitely serious. But I would love to see these two guys go at it, man. I would love to see, either Deontay Wilder versus Alexander Usyk, go down and fight. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see a Deontay Wilder versus, Anthony Joshua. I don't understand you guys right now with both guys coming off the losses. Why we can't just get the Anthony Joshua versus Tyson? I mean, excuse me, the Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. They're already saying Eddie Hearn has, put an offer out there. He was not too. Eddie Hearn was definitely not too. He wasn't too quiet about saying that he was going to make that happen. He wanted to make that happen. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. The more I think about this joint, the more I think about it, I just think that Deontay Wilder can win against Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius is a tricky fighter, which also beat the likes of, he beat the likes of Robert Helenius beat the likes of Adam Kornacki, which to me, Adam Kornacki was a good fighter, but was he ever an elite fighter? That's the question that we got to ask ourselves, you guys. That's the question that we got to ask ourselves. Was he an elite fighter? And we're going to find out, in this showdown, October 15th, I believe it is, in his WBC title eliminator. And that's another thing. Robert Helenius has never been a world champion himself. So this will be, one of his closest, shots at becoming a world champion in this eliminator. I believe he's fought for the belt before. But right now, we'll be honest, right now, you guys, Robert Helenius, to me, is not that big of a threat. Yes, he's a really good fighter. I'm not taking anything away from Robert Helenius, but I would love to see what Robert Helenius can offer. Can he knock out Deontay Wilder? He's coming off of multiple wins in a row. And like I said, I really think that Robert Helenius, he's 31-3 with 20 big wins by way of knockout. He is 38 years old. They called him the Nordic Nightmare. Like I said, you guys, he's prime and ready, man. If there's ever been an opponent that's been ready, I think, Robert Helenius is ready. He's fought a lot of guys. But the one loss that I just can't get over, you guys, that he's fought is when he fought Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington knocked out Robert Helenius, you guys. Okay? And at the time of the stoppage, the scorecards were 67, 66, 67, 66, and 66-67 on all the scorecards. At the time of the stoppage, he got stopped in the infamous Armory in Minneapolis, Minnesota, at the Armory. We all know that there was a lot of shit going down in that arena and stuff like that, but there was a knockout, man. So, Gerald Washington did get that knockout. I believe Gerald Washington, after he got that knockout, I believe he got the Wilder fight, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check out Washington real quick. I think that would catapulted him to get that Wilder fight after he came off that win with Robert Helenius. Gerald. No, he came off that win off of Robert Helenius, and then he fought Charles Martin and got knocked out by Charles Martin. And then he got knocked out by Ali Demirizin in 2022 in January. So yeah. Crypto Colors, what's going on? He says, who is Robert? Elaine Ephras? Huh? Crypto Colors says, what's up, Corey Guns? He says, what's up? What's good, man? What's going on, Crypto Colors, man? How's everything going, man? Everything's going good over here on my end, man. Like I said, I'm excited to get these videos back pumping again. I'm excited to be back live again, be back in my house again. That's finally done. And it's just been a lot, man, the last, couple months, man. But we're here, we're back, and we're back with another banger. So yeah, man, Robert Elenius, man, I like what I see out of him. You know, but when you really break down his resume and break down some of his key wins, and Adam Konaki, both of those knockout wins were good. I just feel like Adam Konaki couldn't stay out of the you know, the right hand from Robert Helenius. You know, that right hand really did you know, do some damage to Adam Konaki, and I just think Adam Konaki couldn't get over that hump. Please, whatever you do, guys, stop everything you're doing right now. Smash that like button, you guys. Let's definitely get those likes up, man. Come on, you guys. Let's get these likes up, man. Smash that like button for a brother, man. Come on, man. Look out for me, man. And yeah, man, you know, Robert Elenius did fight Dillian White. I don't know if you guys know that, but he did fight Dillian White 21-1. At the time, he fought him in 2017, and he lost a unanimous decision. The scorecards read 119, 109, 119, 109, and 118, 110. So Dillian White, you know, handled you know, Robert Elenius pretty well, you know, pretty handily. He lost to Dillian White. He lost to Juan Dupas. It was a loss. It was a KO loss, actually. And the referee stopped it with 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Wow, man! It said Helenius was down in the 4th and the 6th round, and that was for the WBC the WBC silver heavyweight vacant title. So that's the silver. That's almost like the runner-up. But yeah, man, I think both of these guys, you know, can Deontay Wilder make a run to the top again, you guys? That's my question. The more I'm you know, depicting his opponent in Robert Elenius, I mean, he's got, you know, like I said, he's got those 3 losses: Dillian White, Duhaupas, and Gerald Washington. That Gerald Washington is surprising, because that was in 2019, and Gerald Washington has never been, you know, I feel like he's never been like a top 5 heavyweight ever. So it's like, you lost to him, and now you're fighting Deontay Wilder. What's Wilder gonna do to you? You know, styles do make fights, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I don't know why I thought Deontay Wilder and Robert Elenius fought already. But they're going to fight. They're going to fight. As you guys know, Deontay Wilder has just come off two losses to Tyson Fury, 2 KO losses to Tyson Fury, I might add on that. And you know, the last one was kind of brutal. He got knocked out. It said Wilder was down in the 3rd round, in the 10th round, and the 11th. Fury down twice in round 4. So it was a back and forth battle in 2021 with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in their 3rd and final fight in the trilogy. But eventually, you know, the will and determination, you know, got into, I feel like, you know, was able to, you know, solidify that fight for Tyson Fury, you know, his will and determination. And that's what got him through that fight. You know, you're not going to be able to get through a fight like that if you're Tyson Fury, if you're just, you know, one of these type of guys that are, you know, easily swayed or, you know, mentally not strong. You know, let me be very frank, you guys. You know, Deontay Wilder put Tyson Fury through the ringer, man. I mean, he went through hell to get these titles, man. And I'm going to be honest, you guys. With Tyson Fury going through all of this stuff, what Tyson Fury do we have left? You know, I know a lot of you guys are saying that, you know, Tyson Fury could fight, you know, this guy. Tyson Fury could fight, you know, that guy. You know, he could fight Usyk, he could fight Joshua. But let's be honest, you guys. After all is said and done, what Tyson Fury do we really have left? You know, because he's been in wars, man. He's been in wars. You know, he's been in 3 wars, back-to-back wars with Deontay Wilder. And the same goes for Deontay Wilder. What's left in Deontay Wilder? You know? Ronaldo, what's happening, man? Smash that like button, man. He says, what's good, Corey Lee? Crypto Colors in the chat says, Corey, do you still want to see AJ and Wilder fight? Hell yeah, I want to see that fight, man. Hell yeah, I want to see that fight because styles make fights, and Wilder's not going to try to outbox, Joshua the whole fight. He's going to try to throw that leather, man. And I think they both are. I think that's a fight that a lot of fans would love to see, me included. I know you guys are at home, like, chomping at the bits. When are we going to get a Wilder, when are we going to get a Wilder versus Joshua fight? I want to see that fight, man. I want to see that fight. Anthony Joshua versus Wilder fight right now, in my personal opinion, you guys, I think it could do numbers. Not only can it do numbers financially, I think it could do a lot of numbers. Just with these two guys being at the top of their game, I still feel like Joshua is in his prime. I'm not sure about Deontay Wilder. We got to see in his next fight. And just because he got knocked out by Tyson Fury doesn't mean he's not in his prime. Sometimes in a fight, you guys, you're just not physically capable enough to just go anymore. Deontay Wilder, when I watched that last knockout and that final shot, the last time I seen Deontay Wilder was on the floor, was on the canvas against Tyson Fury. That was the last time I seen Deontay Wilder in the ring. And when I seen him in the ring like that, his state of mind, he could not get up. He wanted to get up. But his body just, for whatever reason, he was just exhausted, man. He was just, mentally fatigued, I think, and physically fatigued. But you could just tell the spirit and the heart of a warrior that he wanted to get up. You could see that he tried to get up, but Deontay Wilder's body was just limp after that, man. After that last and final knockout of Tyson Fury. We all know Tyson Fury after he beat Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury 32-0 with that one draw being with Deontay Wilder. 23 big wins by way of knockout. We did see him fight in 2022 in March. He fought Dillian White, which was a good comeback fight. He knocked out. So if you want to be honest, you guys, Tyson Fury is on a 3-fight knockout winning streak. Shout out to Crypto Colors in the chat. He says, Corey, I would love to see Usyk and Fury fight now, and I want to see Fury yell out, pop, pop, pop. Hey, man, I was like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know I haven't talked to you guys in a while, but that Joshua versus Usyk fight, man, when, Joshua pretty much lost his mind in the ring, man. I was just like, I was surprised, man. I never seen him out of character like that, but I never seen him lose twice to a guy in that fashion. Pretty much, he lost. It was no gray areas, no two ways about it. Anthony Joshua lost both fights to Alexander Usyk, which I predicted. You guys got to give your boy credit at some times, man. You guys got to give your boy credit. I did predict that. I did think that, Alexander Usyk was going to be a little too much for Anthony Joshua. When you got a heavyweight that's throwing 700 punches per round, that's big. That's big. Not only for one, that's big, in the whole grand scheme of things in the heavyweight division. What other heavyweights do you guys know that are throwing 700 punches per round? Per fight. I said per round. Per fight. That's still unheard of, man. That's unheard of, man. 700 punches per fight for Alexander Usyk. He's done it 2 fights in a row. Anthony Joshua's first fight and Anthony Joshua in the second fight. And I think that's the key to victory, to beat, Anthony Joshua, to stay active, to stay on your feet. Better said than done. Anthony Joshua does know how to cut the ring off pretty good. Obviously, he didn't know how to cut the ring off that good against the guy that he fought in Usyk. I thought if Anthony Joshua could have cut off the ring a little bit better, I think he could have had more more, he could have had more success because he wasn't able to cut the ring off, in my personal opinion, as good as he has, against, Dillian White, or, against some of these other guys that are, in my personal opinion, far less, far less. I can't even say champions because, Dillian White's never been a world champion. And, Joseph Parker was a world champion when he beat Andy Ruiz, but was that, some people say Andy Ruiz won that fight, so that's even questionable. But Joseph Parker was a champion before as well, and it's just one of those things, you guys. Right now, Dillian White has been knocked out a couple times. He got knocked out by Alexander Povetkin. He did come back and later stop Alexander Povetkin 6 months later. But yeah, man, it's tough sledding out here, man. It's tough sledding out here in the heavyweight division. And then you got guys like Jared Anderson coming back after his 8 month layoff and hand injury. Jared Anderson, man, you guys, I'm gonna be honest, man. He's gonna be a talent to look out for, man. I know a lot of you guys are like, who is Jared Anderson, man? Jared Anderson is a really good heavyweight. That, to be honest with you, was one of my, I think last year was my prospect of the year. He's just coming off of a, second round destruction in his last fight. And I think he showed a lot of fans like, look, I'm back, I'm here to stay, and I'm ready to go on this run. And I think a lot of heavyweights need to watch out for Jared Anderson. I'm not sure how fast they're gonna push him. He's still at the tender age of 22 years old. But top rank, being that they got that monster behind him in ESPN, I think that's going to be I think that's good, for Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson right now is a 22-year-old, and some would say phenom. Some would say that he's the best heavyweight in American boxing. Some of his accolades, he won the 2015 U.S. Junior Under 17 championships at 176 pounds. He got first place. The 2016 U.S. National Youth Under 19 Championships. That was the 200 pounds, first place. So in 1 year, in 2015 and 2016, he kind of did a shift from under 17, from 17 and under, and then from under 19, he did a shift where he gained pretty much, it looked like 25 pounds, and then he pretty much stayed on the course of heavyweight all the way up until there. It says pretty much that he won the U.S. National Championships in 200 pounds. First place in 2017, and then in 2018 he came back and won the U.S. National Championships 200 pounds, first place. He is an Orthodox fighter from Toledo, Ohio. They do call him Big Baby, which is crazy, man. There's been a couple big babies in boxing, man, which is kind of weird, but that's the name they chose, I guess. Big Baby. But yeah, man, Jared Anderson, man, he's a pretty good fighter, man. He's 12-0. I believe 12 big wins by way of knockout. He was born in 1999. So he's 22 years old, man. I mean, the guy's fresh. I mean, he's one of the fresh young talents that you could possibly ever have in boxing right now. And I just think that he's good for the sport of boxing, man. I would love to see what he can do going forward in the sport of boxing. And I think he's going to, cause a lot of trouble for some of the other heavyweights in this game. I just think that, he's got a promising future. And I think Jay Prince doesn't sign that many fighters. And I think he's seen something in Jared Anderson, man. For Jared Anderson to be fighting like that, man, you gotta, for Jay Prince to sign you, man, he signed Shakur Stevenson. He signed, Floyd Mayweather once upon a time ago. He pretty much was there for the whole career of Andre Ward. And yeah, man, I mean, he's got it, some of the best young fighters' careers in boxing. He's guided their careers. And I think that Jay Prince has a good eye for talent. And when you got guys like Shakur Stevenson, Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, you got guys like that, and you sign guys like that, why do you need 250 fighters when you got the cream of the crop? I mean, Shakur Stevenson is in some eyes pound for pound fighter. In some eyes, Shakur Stevenson is a pound for pound fighter. Jay Prince signed him and Jared Anderson. But yeah, man, I want to see what these heavyweights can do. I want to see moving forward. Modern King Boxing, he says, what's great at Corey Lee Boxing? What's going on, man? How's everything going? Smash that like button. As soon as you guys come in, you guys, let's get these likes all the way through the roof, man. Come on, man. Let's get these likes up, man. But like we were Let's go. We're back. But yeah, man, right now we were talking about, Deontay Wilder, can he be champion again? That's what a lot of people, want to know, and that's what I want to know. Can Deontay Wilder be champion again? And he's ready to fight, Robert Helenius, which is a real crafty, unorthodox fighter. Call him the Nartic Warrior. He's beating guys. And I think the only reason why Robert Helenius is getting this shot, you guys, is because Robert Helenius beat Adam Kwanaki, and Adam Kwanaki was getting, he done everything he needed to do all the way up into that point of fighting Robert Helenius. And I think if he would have got that W, he would have been fighting Deontay Wilder, or been fighting for a title. Because at that point, Adam Kwanaki had never lost. So that was a devastating loss for Robert Helenius to not only beat him, but stop him. And not only beat him and stop him, but Robert Helenius did that twice, just to show you guys it wasn't a fluke the first time. And I really truly think, man, that, Robert Helenius, is going to be, he's got a full training camp. I've seen this guy, Robert Helenius, I seen this guy fight somebody in running shoes. I'm trying to think, who did he fight that was he had running shoes on. And it was wild, bro. It was wild. I remember that fight. I just can't remember the guy he was fighting when he had the running shoes on, man. He had jogging shoes on because he was a last minute replacement. And Robert Helenius came in there with he didn't come in there with boxing shoes on. He came in there with running shoes on, and I was just like, "What? This is crazy." But that shows you guys that he's about that life. He'll fight anybody at any given time, And I like that about him, man. I like that about him. Some of the titles that Robert Helenius has held is the WBC International Silver Heavyweight title in 2017. The IBF International Heavyweight title in 2015, the EBU, which is the European Heavyweight title in 2011 and in 2015, the WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight title in 2011, the WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight title in 2010, and the EBU Union, which is, I guess, a knockoff of the European title. But yeah, man, he's never been a world champion. Robert Helenius has never been a world champion. So this if he beats Wilder, he will still not be a world champion, but he'll be that one step closer to becoming a world champion. And yeah, man, he did have his trainer Carl Helenius was his trainer in 2014. He changed trainers in 2014. He's with Juan Lindstrom from 2014 on up. Which is a key fact. He had one trainer in 2007 to 2014, which was Wigner. He had him, and then And then in 2014, for just that 1 year, he had Carl Hellenius, ditched him, and then been with Juan Lindstrom from 2014 on up. Smash that like button, you guys. He says, Trap Media in the building. He says, Quinaki was the big favorite. He was though, and he was, he was built to win that fight. They was, branding him to win that fight. A lot of people thought he was going to win that fight, and he didn't win that fight. For whatever the case is, he didn't win that fight. He got knocked out. He got brutally stopped. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I think that, the more I break down these fights and the more I break down, everything that's going on in the world of boxing right now, nothing's promised. Nothing's promised in this sport of boxing. You can get knocked out at any given fucking time. And a lot of people need to understand that when you're fighting these big fights like this, man, some of these guys, they're saying they're ready for, the world title shot, but you got to get through guys like this first. Deontay Wilder got his belts taken from him, from Tyson Fury, brutally knocked out, and so now he's on the road back to the top. And Robert Helenius right now is already, he's on a winning streak. Deontay Wilder's on a 2 or 3 fight losing streak. Depending on if you want to count that first fight a draw or a loss. Is all about, what you, in black and white, it was a draw. So some of you guys are like, man, Wilder won that first fight. I don't know what you're talking about and all that. In black and white, it was a draw, buddy. So Deontay Wilder's coming off 2 losses. This is his comeback fight. This is his, road to the top again as he starts his road to the top. Wilder's taking about a year or 2 layoff, which was really needed. I think Deontay Wilder needed a layoff to get that hunger back, to get that, that drive back. I never doubted Deontay Wilder as a fighter, I think that he's a really, really good boxer for the sport of boxing. And what I mean by that is, he might not, stylistically, he might not be the best, fighter in the world. And what I mean by that is he might not be, stylistically, he might not be an Alexander Usyk where he's trying to outbox you. He's trying to outthink you and stuff like that. Deontay Wilder is trying to outthink you so he can land that one shot. And that right hand is a mother, man. And he knocks out plenty of guys like that. He knocked out 41 guys like that. So you think he ain't gonna go for 42 and Robert Helenius? Come on, man. Trap Media in the chat said, okay, hold on. Modern King Boxing says, I want to see Wilder stop being loyal and fight AJ personally. Yeah, but that has a lot to do with what's going on in the world of boxing behind the scenes. As you guys know, AJ Anthony Joshua is with the big promotional company DAZN and then Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn. And he just signed a new deal before he lost twice to Usyk. So they got to figure that out, man, and pan that out, man. They got to pay this dude all this fucking money. And now he doesn't even have any belts. I know, Anthony Joshua will sell out a stadium. He doesn't have any problems doing that. I know he can do that. But, how many of you guys want to see Anthony Joshua fight Joe Schmo? Like, I want to see him fight guys that are like contending, like contenders, like Philip Herkovich. I would love to see him fight him. I would love to see Anthony Joshua fight Jared Anderson. I would love to see him fight Efe Ajagba. I would love to see, Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder. I would love to see him fight Tyson Fury. These are the big fights that I would love to see, man. Trap Media in the chat says, if he beats Wilder, will people blame the gloves? That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. Every time Wilder loses, it's another excuse. It's another, the gloves, the fucking bodysuit, all this shit, man. And Wilder's saying that, and like I said, the bodysuit, Wilder was like 230 going into that fight. The bodysuit was like 40 pounds. You got to know that that's your fault. You got to know that before you walk into the ring. You got to know what you're getting yourself into. This sport is very unforgiving. It's all about what have you done for me lately. And that's what boxing is. And boxing, to be honest with you, since Wilder has been gone, I think the sport has missed Wilder, man. I'm going to be honest. His brash personality, the way he carries himself, the way he knocks people out, I think boxing's been missing that. Boxing loves knockouts, and boxing loves heavyweight knockouts. The top of the food chain. That's where Wilder's at. So yeah, Modern Boxing says, I'm back. I had a phone call. This Ronald Finkley, Corley. Oh man, what's up, man? What's going on, Ronald Finkley? Salute to my brother Ronald Finkley, man. Salute, my brother. But yeah, man, I would love to see, Deontay Wilder back at the top, and I want to see him, possibly fight an Anthony Joshua, possibly fight an Alexander Usyk. Why it's always got to be just Fury. And it's looking like if Usyk beats Tyson Fury, then that opens up a whole can of worms, man. That just, not only is Usyk gonna have to, fight his eliminators, but he's got to fight 4 eliminators. Like he's got to fight 4, and by that time, I think Usyk might retire, so we might not even see a Wilder versus Usyk. If Usyk beats Fury, which I think he will, that's just gonna Usyk just came through and fucked up the whole heavyweight landscape, bro. Joshua wasn't supposed to lose to Usyk, He wasn't, man. The more I think about it, he wasn't, man. He wasn't. He wasn't, man. He wasn't. It fucked up a lot of millions too, man, because Usyk is not that, he hasn't been, I'm not going to say he's not, but he hasn't been promoted as big as, as Tyson Fury, or he hasn't been promoted as big as even Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is more of a draw than Usyk is, and even I knew that, Modern King Boxer says, you were so right about Usyk, champ. I was writing him off big time, but I definitely didn't miss him beating. Yeah, Ronald Finkley, you was one of the guys that said I was crazy for picking Usyk to beat, Anthony Joshua. Way back when I first started making my videos about, 4 or 5 years ago, you was one of the guys, Ronald Finkley was like, I don't agree with that, Corey. I think, Usyk is too small, he doesn't have enough power for heavyweight. And hey, I hate to say I told you so, man, but hey, that's what happens in boxing, man. Boxing is a real cruel sport. It's like I said, it's very unforgiving. And a lot of these fighters, man, they go by the wayside after they lose, especially when they lose devastatingly, like Deontay Wilder. And I'm not even gonna lie, Anthony Joshua didn't lose by knockout. He did, stand up on his feet the whole 12 rounds, but he got beat, man. He got beat fair and square. I'm glad they gave it to Usyk. It was a split decision, which I thought was wild as shit. I didn't think it was a split decision. I had that fight easily, 116, 112, easily. And that was being very generous to Anthony Joshua. But yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap this show up, man. I've been going for about 40 minutes. This was my comeback live stream. We are back. We at the new Corley Boxing Studios. Still ain't got my studio up and running yet, but it will be there soon, man. The studio is right in that room right there. We're working on it. I'll show you guys a little bit of what's going on, man. Let me show you guys what's going on. So yeah, this is the Corley Boxing Studios. It will be getting, I'll be having all the desk and everything in that, man. So we got to get that thing tightened up. And after that, man, everything will be straight. But yeah, man, I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for watching, man. Thank you guys so much for following the sport of boxing and continuing to follow me after I took these hiatuses, over and over and over again. You still came back. I appreciate that, you guys. Please share this on all social media. please, like and subscribe, you guys. And if you can't find me on here, you can definitely find me on Instagram at Coily Boxing, where I post a lot of my content and stuff like that, man. So thank you guys for watching, man. This is Coily Boxing, and you've definitely been hit with another banger.